Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So today I'm going to carry out an activity which is skimming and scanning. So the main objective of this activity is to enhance our reading skill and to make sure that we are very good for speed reading. So first of all, skimming and scanning are two very effective and yet very different strategies for speed reading. What is speed reading? You may be used to read every word slowly and very carefully to understand every sentence of the text. But you have a very limited time and it is impossible to read attentively all the information. But how to read more in less time? One way is to use speed reading, quickly read the text according to your purpose, getting only the information you need. So first of all, skimming. Skimming means quickly reading the text to get only its main idea. So to skim effectively, you need to read only a part of the material. In our real life situation, maybe you have already encountered skimming a lot of time, such as when reading a long chapter of book,
Oh, I see.
or while doing a research on a long article. And another example, in such case, you would probably read the first sentences of each paragraph, dropping down to the end of the paragraph. So we will learn how to skim. Firstly, you need to read the first paragraph attentively to get an idea of what will be discussed in the text. So I will show you some example in the laptop. From the screen, you can see an article about capitalism. Firstly, we have to attentively read the first and last paragraph. The first paragraph is the word. It shows the word capitalism is now quiet, commonly used to describe the social system in which we now live. The first sentence of the paragraph, and then you drop down to the end of the paragraph and read the last sentence. The capitalism calculate can be sold at a profit. Those goods may satisfy human needs, but those needs will not be met if people do not have sufficient money. So when you read the first and sometimes the second sentence of each paragraph, they already give the main idea of the paragraph. And after you have read the first sentences, your eyes should drop down to the end of the paragraph looking for important pieces of information, such as dates and names. And read the last paragraph attentively, as it may contain the summary. Here's a picture that illustrates skimming process. As you can see in the screen, it illustrates skimming process.
Oh, I see.
Next, move on to scanning. Scanning means searching for specific phrases in the text to answer some questions. First of all, we must underline. We must underline to such as important part of the article, such as dates, names, numbers, new terms, or other keywords. So it is a very good idea to underline those keywords while reading, so you could find the answers in the text more easily. So now we are going to learn how to scan. Firstly, the most important step of scanning, which is the underlining. We should underline the important information while reading the text, which is dates, numbers, names, and etc. when you read the question, you need to identify the keyword and scan the text for it. This way you will find the answer more quickly. Scanning process looks like this, which is shown in the screen right now. You only look for specific keywords which is in this article about capitalism. Capitalism is the social system. Social system is a very important keyword in this article, which is the capitalism is a social system that they are being used in some countries. We can also find the word capitalist that bring an adjective of capitalism itself, and also we got profit here that shows how capitalism works. So now it's time for us to practice skimming and scanning. First of all, let's practice skimming first. When reading a text for the first time, you should skim over it to grasp the main idea. In this example, we only read the highlighted text and quickly look over the rest of the text in about 1 or 2 minutes only. The article is about electric cars. The article is shown in the laptop, which I can provide later. I will show a picture in that after this.
Okay.
So now we're moving on to the question. Number 1, what is the aim of the text? A, to discourage people from visiting Singapore. B, to prove the electric car are less eco-friendly than fossil fuel powered machines. C, to show that we need to count the emissions of power stations to see how green an electric car is. This question can be answered immediately after you skim over the text. Here, you are required to understand only the main idea of the passage, which can be obtained by skimming only. Obviously, the correct answer is C. It's also stated in the last paragraph. You do not have to read all of the article, but you only skim and look for the last paragraph. But what about the bigger picture? Should we be factoring in the emissions of power stations when working out on how green an electric car is? The logical answer is yes, C.
Okay.
Question number 2. When the owner of the electric car went to Singapore, he received A, a rebate of around US 10,800, a fine of around 10,800, and C, a fine of around US 15,000. And this question, unlike the previous question, requires specific detailed amount of money. So to answer it, you should scan the text for words 10,800 and 15,000. Don't read the text again. Just search these two keywords. Once you have found the right sentence, read it attentively to get the answer.
Okay.
And last, number 3, to prove that electric car was a gross polluter, the authorities in Singapore calculated the fill in the blank of generating of the electricity to charge the car. After you skim over the article, you should know that the Singapore authorities and charging car were mentioned somewhere in the middle of the text.
Okay.
Moreover, you have another clue. The answer should be after the answer to the question 3. You can find the right answer by these keywords: authorities in Singapore and electricity to charge the car. If you scan the text for these keywords, and you will find the answer in the 4th paragraph. The Singapore authorities calculated the carbon cost of generating the electricity that will be used to charge the car. The correct answer is carbon cost, of course. So, by this activity, can you get the objective of scanning and skimming?
Of course, absolutely. I got a lot of information for this session.
Okay, so thank you, Shamil, for this session. And last but not least, the importance of this skill, which is skimming and scanning, is very useful, such as we can use it for answering questions like the SPA questions, which is we don't have much time to answer to read the whole article, but by using this skimming and scanning skills, we can absolutely score for the test. So that's all for this session. Thank you very much.
Welcome.